The assassination that sparked World War I. The Great War began not with the march of armies or the thunder of cannons, but with a single gunshot in a distant city. June 28, 1914. Terran system. The streets of Sarajevo were alive with the sounds of marching bands and cheering crowds. The heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, rode through the city in an open carriage, his wife Sophie beside him. But hidden in the crowd, assassins waited. As the procession moved through the streets, a bomb exploded against the side of the Archduke's car, a failed attempt. The driver, panicked, sped away. But fate had other plans. Later that day, as the car turned down a narrow street by mistake, a young man stepped forward, raised a pistol, and fired 2 shots. Franz Ferdinand gasped, blood spreading across his uniform. His wife collapsed beside him. Within minutes, they were dead. That single moment set off a chain reaction that would plunge the world into war. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia and, with the full backing of its ally Germany, declared war. But Serbia had a powerful protector, Russia. The German Kaiser, eager for conquest, declared war on Russia. Then, knowing that France was Russia's ally, Germany struck west. The German war machine moved like thunder, sweeping across Belgium with fire and steel. Civilians fled in terror as entire towns were reduced to rubble. Machine guns rattled, and bayonets flashed in the streets. The Belgian army fought bravely, but was crushed beneath the might of Germany's forces. The United Kingdom entered the war, rushing to aid Belgium and France. The world was now divided into 2 great alliances, the Allies and the Central Powers, and the war had begun. As Germany marched toward Paris, the French and British dug in for a desperate last stand. The Battle of the Marne raged along the rivers, artillery shells exploding like fireballs in the sky. French troops charged headfirst into gunfire, knowing that if they failed, France would fall. Against all odds, they stopped the German advance. The war, expected to last only a few months, descended into a nightmare. The Western Front became a graveyard of trenches. Hundreds of miles of mud, barbed wire, and death. Soldiers spent weeks in the freezing cold, buried in filth, as rats gnawed on the dead. Then came the first poison gas attack. A silent green fog crept over no man's land, sweeping into the trenches. Men gasped, clawing at their throats, their skin burning, their lungs filling with fire. The gas left them choking, blind, and writhing in agony. For the first time, war had become a chemical horror. But it did not end there. Across the seas, German U-boats lurked beneath the waves, hunting enemy ships. With no warning, torpedoes cut through the water, exploding against hulls and sending thousands to watery graves. In the Middle East, the Ottoman Empire waged a brutal war against the British, while in the frozen Eastern Front, Russia and Germany clashed in battles so fierce that entire divisions vanished in the snow. By 1917, the world had lost millions. Soldiers died by the thousands for inches of land. The war had become a grinding, endless slaughter. Then, everything changed. Across the Atlantic, the United States watched in fury as German U-boats sank American ships. Then came the Zimmermann telegram, a shocking message from Germany urging Mexico to invade the U.S. America had enough. With the battle cry, "Lafayette, we are here!" American troops poured into Europe, bringing fresh energy to the dying war effort. The final offensive began. Tanks rumbled forward, crushing trenches beneath their treads. The thunder of artillery never ceased, turning the battlefields into hellscapes of fire and steel. The German lines cracked, and city by city, the Central Powers fell. Then, on November 11, 1918, in a silent railway car deep in the forests of France, Germany surrendered. The war, after 4 years of bloodshed, was over. But the world would never be the same. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, crippled Germany, demanding impossible reparations. But rather than securing peace, it planted the seeds of an even greater war. The Great War, the war to end all wars, had only paved the way for something far worse. It was not just a war of armies. It was a war of machines, of horror, of entire nations consumed by fire. And though the guns fell silent, the echoes of World War I still shake history to this day.